मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गन शॉट. गन शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है. Today we're going to talk about Munir's multi-front crisis. Sorry for the earlier snafu because that was a technical problem and there was echo coming and so we couldn't go ahead. With this, I'll hand you over to Sandeep. Sandeep, let's get going.
Good morning, General Shankar. Welcome to this unique collaboration between Gunner's Shot and Chakra News. Lots happening in the neighborhood, General Shankar. As we were saying a couple of days back, a couple of podcasts back, that we're playing a T20 match, and there's literally something happening every single day. And the turning point here that we're all talking about are the Afghan-Pakistan clashes along the Durand line. Just a couple of hours ago, a new headache for Field Marshal Asim Munir. We are calling it the Tetra crisis because not only is he facing a hostile India on his eastern flanks, he's now got a hot border with Afghanistan, and he's got two, not one, two raging insurgencies within Pakistan in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and in Balochistan, which are consuming the resources, the energy, and of course, the manpower, personnel of the Pakistan army. Is Field Marshal Asim Munir riding a tiger, and what happens to him now? General Shankar, without much ado, has Field Marshal Asim Munir bitten off more than he can chew? 4 crises is a lot even for a garrison state like Pakistan.
I think it's much more than just what you outlined because let me add a few more layers to this whole story. Right? He's got a major problem with the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan in Rawalpindi and Islamabad. They are shut down. Internet is shut
Right.
down, and they are not happy about the stance which Pakistan has taken over Gaza and Palestine. And
Right.
you remember, Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan is part of the Barelvi sect.
Yes.
It talks a lot of blasphemy and all that. They hung people for blasphemy, if you remember, right? And they're they've got a lot of, they're very deep politically. The thing with that insurgency, call it political radicalism. It's a radical group,
Right.
Said Rizvi's group, and they hung a Sri Lankan for blasphemy, if you remember, a
That's
year
right.
or so back.
That manager of
Yeah,
factories there.
factory. And now they've supported Munir at times, they've supported Imran Khan at times, and they are some kind of loose cannon within Pakistan. And I've always considered them to be more dangerous than anything else because
Right.
this is in heartland Punjab.
Right.
Lahore and Rawalpindi are on internet shutdown. That's serious.
Yeah.
It's not rimland Pakistan, not
Right.
Balochistan, KP, POK, and all. This is heartland Pakistan is in a major problem.
Right.
Okay. Everyone understands the problem with India. Everyone understands the problem with Afghanistan and all that. The second major problem,
Yeah.
IMF is turning the screws on Pakistan. This is something which has gone completely under the bridge. 4 days back, the report came out that Pakistan has been underreporting on its imports. They have
Right.
underreported on their imports for the past 2 years for a tune of $11 billion. And the standing committee, that of the IMF or the
Right.
staff level committee of the IMF was so pissed off that they said we'll not give any more tranches to Pakistan till we get clarity on all this. And they're not going to get any clarity. I mean, everyone is being nice because Pakistan has taken everyone for a ride.
Right.
So there's nothing left to disburse. They've already eaten up for the past 2 years $11 billion. And the problem is that they funded their own military with this.
Right. Which is why they asked them for an account of the
Yeah,
spending.
that account is going on. So I
Right.
don't think that will happen very easily.
Right.
Okay. Then the third problem is political.
Right.
The political problem is very serious because, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa,
Yeah.
Gandapur has resigned. Ali
Has
Aman
resigned, the chief
Gandapur was
minister.
yeah. He's finally, it's come out that the governor has declared that he's resigned, and
Right.
Imran Khan has nominated Sohail Afridi, and
Yes.
Sohail Afridi is completely anti-establishment.
Right. Right.
Now the talk is whether Sohail Afridi will be accepted as a CM
Right.
or not.
Right.
If he is not accepted as CM, how do they take him out? Because that's an elected government.
Right.
If he's accepted as a CM and tomorrow he says, I'm completely against Pakistan,
Yes.
right? Or the Pakistan army, he goes against the Pakistan establishment, or the
Right.
army and Asim Munir and all that. And there's a war on with Afghanistan. What do? They can't sack the chief minister. If
Right.
they sack, then constitutional crisis.
Right.
Okay. That might itself put Shabaz Sharif government in crisis.
Right.
This
Right.
whole story is the way it's going. I think there's a incipient or latent, call it, I wouldn't call it latent also. There's a crisis for the Shabaz Sharif government at this point of time. Okay.
It's a polycrisis, what you just outlined. I mean, it's a
Yeah, yeah.
combination of so many
It's a,
things. It's
and
insurgencies. Yeah.
one more point. China. China is just not happy with this story.
Mm.
I
Right.
have gone into Bidu and I've read. They say, look, virtually, I mean, they've not expressed it in those words, but they feel double crossed,
Right.
right? They feel double crossed by what Pakistan is doing. And then there's a lot of angst in Pakistan strategic circles about the kind of treatment which has been given to Mutakil, the
Right.
foreign minister in India, especially
That's
his
right.
visit to,
On the 10th, on the 10th of
yeah, yeah, he's
October.
been here, and yesterday he went to Devban. The kind of
Deoban.
reception he's gone in Devban
Yes.
has unnerved Pakistan completely. Now we are in a different status. It's just not
Right.
political against India, political military against India, political military against Afghanistan. You know, uh, China, the third angle is not happy. I'm sure anytime now Iran will kick in, and then you are in a major, major problem. I mean, that's the way I look
Right.
at it. We can discuss the outcomes. I mean, in
Yes.
fact,
Yes.
I'd like your
Absolutely.
views on it.
Right. No, I mean, this is fascinating what you just mentioned, Jan Shankar. The fact is that you have so many fronts that the military is literally having to focus on. Let's not forget that they're also deployed for the first time in strength along the international border with India and along the LOC, which remains quite hot. There's been reports of Pak armor being moved forward to the Samba, opposite the Samba sector, and of course near Kutch. So, I mean, as a military man, I want to understand, sir, that when you're looking at so many fronts, your number of men, resources are limited. How do you fight on so many fronts? Because all of this demands troop movements, right? You have to deploy along active borders. Right now we're looking at visuals of the Taliban rushing troops towards their thing. There's fighting on right now between Afghanistan and Pakistan all along the Durand line. So, I mean, how does the military simultaneously deploy across the nation like this?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing which you outlined is very serious for Pakistan. Militarily, you can't handle all fronts. Pakistan doesn't
Right.
have the capability to handle all fronts at this point of time. It can't get into a war with Afghanistan because two of your corps are there and they'll get stuck. If they are stuck there, you can't do anything against India. So what does he do? Well, I mean, you'll have to see what are the military options. Military options: take a defensive position against
Hmm.
India and do whatever you want to do against Afghanistan, right? And you prosecute a war or conflict or stabilize the Afghan situation. And I mean, that I think is the
Right.
first and the best option available with Munir. And leave
Right.
paramilitary forces to deal with Tehrik-e-Labbaik. Because look, all three
Right.
fronts, the internal front, the external front, and all are militarily in a thing. And any day now, he will get that nuclear card and start warning India, you do anything, I'm going to straight away go into the nuclear angle. I mean, if I were a
Really, that's what's
Pakistani,
going to happen next season.
yeah, I don't have a doubt about it. He will
Right.
start. giving you all kinds of warning, and in months. I mean, in I wouldn't say in as many words, but you know how Pakistan operates. Okay,
Right.
and now, uh, of course, one things. What about that pact with KSA? Will KSA come and support them in this
Yeah,
crisis?
yeah. That's right. Right.
Okay, so what will do? What will
So, General
KSA fight
Shankar,
against
let's
Afghan?
not forget this is a ninth this is a this is a ninth occasion for President Donald Trump to intervene and solve a crisis, the Afghanistan-Pakistan war. He can take
Yeah,
credit for ending that because he said that I've ended eight crises. So this is and conflicts. So this is a ninth conflict that he could possibly, potentially avert. And he's of course in the reckoning for the 2026 Nobel Prize now,
yeah,
which I think they should file the nomination this time in time. I think the last time he lost out because the 31st Jan was the deadline for the Nobel. So here you have 31st of Jan 2026. He probably filed, but I think he would have solved several more conflicts until then.
yeah. You know what? By now, I'm sure Munir is on the hotline to Trump and say, "Look, let me start nominating you for the next crisis. Stop this one on my head, which is straight on my head, and I don't know what to
Shankar,
do with this." Yeah. So
right?
I'm already on a survival
Sergio
mode.
Gore,
Yeah,
right? Uh, Sergio Gore visits New Delhi. I mean, very high-profile visits. Like you have on the 10th, you have the Taliban foreign minister Mutaki here in Delhi. The following day, you have Sergio Gore Delhi meeting the prime minister, of course, with that autographed portrait from Donald Trump. Is the US on damage control now, you think, after what they've done and they've kind of realized?
yeah. I think so. I think they look. USA is cornered now. Let's be very clear. USA is cornered on many counts. The way I look at it, USA has got a problem where that Gaza deal is on in
Yeah,
jeopardy because the deal might go through. Who will go and do soldiering on ground and stabilization? So that is in
right,
a problem. Pakistan is no more the Pakistan is auto detonating at this point of time, and that stability will not come back into Pakistan in a hurry.
right,
I'm sure, and the the kind of things there were 8 9 issues involved,
right,
and Pakistan does not have a political solution to all this, and these are largely political issues.
right,
Okay,
right.
then the flip which Afghanistan has done, which is
Yes,
important, and not many people have understood this.
right.
This Afghan trip to India,
Mm,
I would like to focus on it for a minute.
sure.
See, one point Afghanistan has said. Afghanistan has invited India to come there, carry out mineral exploration and
Right,
energy exploration. Okay, we know there is a lot of lithium and copper there. They are proven reserves. Okay, now the thing is, for 20 years, USA was sitting on it. They couldn't take one naya paisa worth of copper out from there. China has had a contract with them for mineral exploration on Amu Darya in a place called Messainak.
yeah.
And they've had this contract with them for 10 years plus. And they have not been allowed to take 1 gram of copper out from there,
Mm,
incidentally. This is on a contract. Uh, After the US withdrawal, everyone thought Afghanistan, full of minerals and all. China will come, everything. There were a lot of things. Pakistan and China will go and exploit Afghanistan and become rich, and CPC will go in and all. Nothing happened. Right? Everyone has been trying to get their hands on Afghanistan. And lo and behold, this man comes and tells India, please come and develop it. And he said, and he's very clearly said here that look, you talk decently to us, we'll talk decently to you. And
right,
he will not allow Americans to come in. Even
right,
if they're in Bagram base, they'll be walled inside Bagram. Okay, you can enter Afghanistan easily, but you can't exit Afghanistan easily. That's
That's
history.
what Mutaki also mentioned, that
Yeah,
there's no question of any foreign, and you have to look at the Soviets, the Americans, NATO, everybody was
yeah, everyone.
basically they keep all of them out of Afghanistan. That's what
Yeah.
he was saying. But Jan Shankar,
So
when you were talking, I was just reminded the fact that Pakistan is in a poly crisis right now, a military crisis. You remember last weekend we discussed with Advaita, of course, the fact that Pakistan would now still
the voice getting cut.
deploy to police the Gaza peace accord. Um, we discussed how Pakistan would be forced to deploy troops, soldiers, boots on the ground in Gaza to police the peace plan, the
Yeah.
Trump peace plan for Gaza. You think this gives them the perfect excuse not to send soldiers? The fact that they're so heavily committed now inside Pakistan, along the frontiers, fighting insurgency, deployed along the border with India, fighting the Taliban, all of that. That gives them the perfect excuse not to deploy to Gaza.
Look, I don't see how Pakistan can now go and deploy anyone in Gaza,
Right.
right? Especially with what Tehrik-e-Labbaik has done.
Hmm.
And the thing with Tehrik-e-Labbaik, so people who don't understand this is Tehrik-e-Labbaik is a extreme radical organization with fixed ideas.
Right.
And they'll go against anyone for anything. They've gone
Hmm.
against Imran Khan at a point of time. They've gone against, everyone. They are on their own trip. Okay,
Right.
radical trip. So with
Right.
this kind of a thing, and Punjab, and this is in heartland Punjab. This is not anywhere else. So politically, it is improbable now for Pakistan to go and deploy people in Gaza. If that deployment of troops is not there in Gaza,
Yeah.
and with all these poly crises, why would USA and Trump enter Pakistan
Hmm.
or support
Right.
Pakistan? So Pakistan as a that non-NATO ally coming back as the prima donna of this area is over
Right.
and out. I mean, if still America does that, that it all the best to them. Okay, but see, this Sergio Gore was to come later, isn't it? After
Yeah,
his
they
trip,
advanced this trip by several
they
weeks.
suddenly he comes, gives a photo, he meets NSA, he meets External Affairs Minister, he meets everyone. What? They're panicking.
Right.
We also must understand what's happening with China.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look at what's happening. Rare earth problem is on in full
Hmm.
steam. This chap has put USA has put 100% tariffs on China from 1st November. He's told everyone, Chinese have told everyone that, if we'll give you rare earths with the only proviso that don't give it to USA. No
Right.
re-export to USA. That's this thing. So there is a problem there. Plus, China has started being nice to us. We'll take your pharma, we'll take your this, all that
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
So overall, if USA doesn't panic now, when will it panic?
Hmm.
They're not in a good shape at all. USA, and see the kind of knocks they're taking internally.
Right.
Right, internal problems are huge, and there are reports coming out now which very clearly suggest that USA and the whole world will struggle for software professionals.
Hmm.
In fact, other day I was seeing a YouTube video which said India is the last well of software professionals available for the world.
Right.
If USA doesn't use it, others will use it, and USA will go back.
Hmm.
I mean, they'll just start. Their whole tech scene will start collapsing. So USA at this point of time, the way I look at it, has two options: either sort this H-1B visa out, uh, mend your fences with India, and get back to normal, and try to get back to normal, or tech companies for their survival will have to come and invest in India.
Right.
But talent is here, yeah. It's not there in China. It's not there in Japan. It's not there in Germany. It's not there in Norway. It's not there in USA. I mean, you might have a few brilliant guys there, but the will of knowledge and educated young talent is only in
Yeah,
India, not even in China.
absolutely. So that's the
So,
US thing for you. But General Shankar, coming back to Pakistan now, what do you think is going to play out in the next couple of, well, I wouldn't say months because how rapidly things are unfolding. What's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, do you think? One, you mentioned, of course, Munir's nuclear threat. He's going to start putting out those. What else is likely to happen?
see, the other thing which can happen, which is we must expect and we must be prepared for, is that he might turn his thing on India.
Right,
Look, nothing, uh, nothing unites Pakistan uh, than India, and a war with India is the ideal way to unite Pakistan behind the army.
right,
So he could manufacture an incident, a red flag operation with India,
right,
and project a threat from India and
right.
get the whole country aligned behind him with India. And he will let KP and all that, fester for some more time. He
Right.
will, exactly, he might do something like what he did in Pelgam. So,
Another dastardly terror attack, massacring civilians.
something,
That's what to
or
expect.
he'll manufacture it.
Right. False flag
I mean,
operation.
yeah, and he doesn't mind losing to India. This is what I keep saying. A
Hmm.
loss to India is a gain to Pakistan army. A
Right.
Pakistani defeat of a military defeat of Pakistan
Right.
by India is a political victory for Pakistan army. I mean, as simple as that. The alternate is what? I mean, let me ask you, what is the alternate to Pakistan?
There are very few, alternatives left. I mean, there are very few cards left to play. And it's like you mentioned, it's a military thing. So when you have a hammer in your hand, as they say, every problem begins looking to you like a
Nail.
nail. So they'll start, like you said, using the hammer on those problems, and that's going to be really dangerous. Here is a chance for them to take off, maybe push those partnerships that they have, be on their best behavior for more IMF loans. But the Pakistan military knows no other language but of violence and the kinetic options, which, like you mentioned, is something that we have to really be worried about. Terror attacks to unite the country. And I was thinking, General Shankar, the last time we had this kind of a crisis in 2001, the parliament attack, and in 2008 the attack on Mumbai, both when Pervez Musharraf was in the saddle. A lot of the writing analysis at that time suggested that these were staged by the Pakistan military to draw the attention of the people away from the war in Afghanistan and to unite the country, because they knew that there would be a big response from India that would come. In the case of the parliament attack, it allowed them to draw troops away from the Afghan frontier and towards India, so that all of the Taliban and the Al Qaeda could infiltrate back into Pakistan. And Osama bin Laden came to Abbottabad and those kind of things. So you're right. They would be looking at a military solution, something horrible, uh, and it's not entirely unexpected from them, as we've seen in the past, whether it's a parliament attack, 26/11, Pahalgam. It will be more of the same. But uh, this time around, General Shankar, the fact is that India is far more prepared than we are in the past. The last couple of months, I've been interacting with a lot of people, especially your colleagues, and they all seem to suggest that everyone's ready for what's coming from across the border. So, in such a scenario, how tough is it going to be for him to carry out this plan of his?
See, the point is this. Like I told you, what's his plan? His plan is to get defeated. Militarily, he doesn't mind a defeat.
Right,
Okay. But he has to engineer that defeat. He has to engineer that threat. The threat will come from something internal in India. That
right,
Kashmir thing will see. That's why I said that visit of the Afghan foreign minister to Devband is important, because And the way he spoke about India is important because a lot of Muslims in India might not have any sympathy with Munir.
Right.
As it is, see, look, let's be very clear. I don't think there are many Muslims in India who support Pakistan. It's that, except that fringe element.
Yeah.
When you talk to people, you see the way Owaisi speaks and all that. Political support is not there.
Yes.
Okay. But after this trip of the Afghan FM to Devban, that is gone. That's completely very marginal. So he has to
I want
engineer
to
some.
quickly ask you. Sorry, General Shankar. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you. You know that trip to Devban. Now, thousands of fundamentalists. I mean, we don't necessarily subscribe to what comes out of Devban, but you think we did the right thing by allowing Mutaki to go there and be seen with the entire Devban thing? I mean, is this something that could backfire on us at some point? You think?
see, if you don't handle it, it's a sensitive issue. There's no doubt
Yes.
about it. Okay. But the fact is, there's an opportunity, and opportunity comes with risk.
Right.
Okay. Uh, I think in a way, it's a good thing because India was getting the image of being anti-minority.
Right.
Remember the international signaling you have to give that,
Yes.
it keeps coming in there. No, we're not. This very clearly gives you a image of being open-minded, secular, everything, that you allowed this thing to happen, and you allowed the FM of Afghanistan to go and interact with them and everything. And I think it's a very good thing which has happened. I mean, let me be very honest about it. Others might have many issues about it, but I think it's good. Well, there's always a risk of such things happening. But if think if Afghanistan and India are on one page,
Right.
which they are today, which we always have been, we have always been so, right? Barring for that period of Ziaul Haq to, Osama bin Laden and all that. Uh, I think it's a great thing to happen. In fact, I take it one step forward. This is the time for us to restart uh, proper relations with Iran.
Right.
You want to take this relationship with Afghanistan forward, you need Iran on your side.
For the access.
Yeah, Axis, Chabahar.
Yes. Which the
You need.
Americans have clamped down on, which they have put on back on sanctions, right?
Now the Americans are back to you. You said them, look, all this is negotiable. You
Right.
want us, we want Iran, we want their
Yeah.
oil, we want to continue with Russian oil. Look, I'm very sure things will change over the next 2 weeks. I give 2 weeks for things to start changing.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Before November, mid-November,
Yeah.
this will change. I'm not November, not before November, mid-October. Things will change. And I'll give you my logic for this. I mean, it's something I'm now going to take you into rare earths. You want rare earths. See, everyone talks of all kinds of rare earths, but the focus has to be on three rare earths. One is a rare earth called samarium.
Right.
Second is a rare earth called dysprosium. And the third is a rare earth called terbium. Okay. And of course, the fourth is the holominium, but holominium is limited. You need samarium and dysprosium is the two critical of critical rare earths because they harden any alloy and it gives better conductance. That is the thing which you require in semiconductors and all that.
Mm.
The rest of the rare earths are available all over in mineable quantities, even in India. Now, India has samarium.
Right.
You have enough samarium. You do our own samarium cobalt magnets. We manufacture for our own space and atomic energy requirements. We have enough. Okay, not many have, and we have the technology for it. Then dysprosium today, a lot of people talk many things. It's not available in China also.
Hmm.
Dysprosium comes mostly from Myanmar.
Right.
And, and where in Myanmar? Kachin state. And
Right.
there is some talk about Indians going there and doing something and all that.
Prospecting there in the Kachin state.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and there is some dysprosium based rare earth which I think we've got in Karbi Anglong. But there are issues. I'm not going. So, okay, whatever the problem with rare earths today with China, you might make some accommodation. But I'm sure USA is looking at the long term. They're not fools.
Hmm.
If they're not fools, they have to come to India.
Right.
There's no choice. Australians are talking of it. Japanese are talking of it. Why will not Americans talk of using India? I mean, you people talk. What is this humanitarian corridor which USA was trying with Myanmar? What for? Rare earths
Right.
from Myanmar. And you know which is the closest place for those mines in Myanmar?
Chittagong
Assam.
and Assam.
Assam.
Yes. Right.
Assam. Tinsukia. You
Right.
go through the Stillwell Road. You have to reopen the Stillwell Road for that. You want to go back to the Second World War time, the hump and all that.
I was already transported to the Second World War. When you said Stillwell Road, I said, the Americans were there in very large numbers in the Second World War. They were flying those
Yeah,
over the hump missions
hump
into
over the
China.
hump.
I mean, and
Yeah,
how history is repeating
yeah.
in
So
a
they have to
way.
go through the Stillwell Road to Michina and all that. So
Yeah.
if America has its wits around it, half of it also they'll come. That's why this guy Sergio Gore has come running to India,
Right.
and with all this autograph day, all that. You watch. It's a matter of another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? And if things go south with China, USA, China, and what will and this problem with Pakistan will not run away.
Right.
It's going to look. It's just started. This firing across the border is just started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Afghan forces are not strong enough against Pakistan's conventional forces. We know that they'll take it, but how does it matter them? They'll go back. They'll retreat back, suck Pakistan in, and
Hmm.
Pakistan doesn't have the capability to do anything,
Yep.
right? So I mean, we are. I will go to the extent of saying, if things go bad, can Pakistan disintegrate?
That was going to be my question as well, Jan Shankar. The fact that this Durand line is a big geographical expanse. It's longer than the distance between New Delhi and Chennai.
Yeah,
It's more than 2,000 kilometers.
yeah,
So, how can Pakistan, and it's all Pashtun controlled, that side and this side. They're very similar on both sides of the border. So, the integrity of Pakistan, especially provinces like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which we actually kind of missed. It's far more violent in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa than it is in Balochistan, for instance. There are a lot more soldiers dying over there. Pakistan Army soldiers being killed over there. I think the numbers, if I'm correct, are the largest killed in action since 2009. That's in 16 years. They're seeing the largest number of fatalities in
yeah,
this insurgency. So, the territorial unity of Pakistan itself is in doubt, it seems, with
yeah,
these Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and all that. If it continues, there will be a
yeah,
point when they will want to merge with. That's always been their thing. They don't recognize the Durand line, which, as you know, is like 2,600 kilometers. That's a long, and the Taliban don't recognize the Durand line. They call it a colonial relic, and they say that it divides Pashtuns along the borders. So, if the entire Khyber Pakhtunkhwa were to break away, you think it's going to be like a Bangladesh kind of scenario, 1971, where what happened in 71 happens in 2025, and Imran Khan is the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman of 2025.
yeah. That's why I said I started. If you remember, I said that Sohail Afridi as the CM, who's
Yeah,
against right. If that happens and Afghanistan pulls takes place and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa can go one direction, as it
right.
is, 95% of Balochistan is not under Pak control.
Yes,
95%. Okay, they just
right.
they're hanging on there by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
Right? If those two go, and what's happening in Punjab and what's happened in POK, remember, beginning of this month, not far back, we're talking of
Yeah.
third of October, there were clashes in POK where 14, 15 people were dead.
Right. Of course.
Okay? So you are looking at a situation where people are, all states are in a problem.
Yeah.
If all states, and then floods, and then no money, and then they fudge the accounts,
Right. Right.
and they're not going to get anything more. And definitely after all this, if America starts supporting them, then they're fools. See, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we are looking at 220 million Pakistanis, 220 million Pakistanis. What will be going on through them? What will be their
Yes.
own problems? There are sectarian issues now. There are political problems. There is interstate problems. Will it? I wouldn't say just Khyber Pakhtunkhwa going. Will Pakistan just disintegrate?
Right. That seems to be a real danger. And Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is a huge province. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
realize that. For viewers who are watching, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or KP was created through. It's just about 15 years old. That province. It was created with a merger of all of the FATA and all of those areas. Yeah, right there. That's the area that we're looking at. It's the size of the Indian state of Bihar, and it has the population. It's about 100,000 square kilometers almost, and it has the population of Odisha. That's 40 million people, 4 crore people. That's a very, very significant chunk of territory you're talking about, and they are all in arms against the state of Pakistan. There's a massive insurgency on over there, and if you look at it, it's just a continuation of Afghanistan into Pakistan. And if that KP breaks away, and the kind of pressure that's been put on Imran Khan and all that, that is the big clincher. I mean, if KP goes up in flames as it already is, then Pakistan's territorial integrity is in doubt. You're just looking at basically Punjab, Sindh, and what they can hold off parts of Balochistan and maybe the Gilgit-Baltistan areas of Pak-occupied Kashmir. But this is a very, very serious problem, and I think the violence right now along the border, a lot of it is concentrated around the boundary with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. That is very, very bad news for the state of Pakistan, indeed, General Shankar.
yeah, it is. You see, just look at that red part. That's Khyber
Yeah,
Pakhtunkhwa. Look, if it won't secede, if it will just become part of Afghanistan. You see, that's
right,
the thing. So
right,
Afghanistan will extend till here. I mean, I'm now hypothetical.
right.
And if Afghanistan extends till here,
Yeah,
okay, and you see the hashed part is what? Our part of Kashmir, JNK, and all that. So what's
yes.
there in between? It's a very small strip which is left.
Okay,
You cut it off, entire Gilgit Baltistan comes to you.
right.
Okay. So what do we do? If this kind of a situation comes, we should be very clear what we have to do, what we have to do politically, what we have to do militarily. What is that? Then what will be China's reaction? The CPEC goes through this.
Yes,
So there are important things which are at stake. This is just not about rare earths and this and that and the integrity of Pakistan. If this instability continues with Afghanistan,
hmm,
instability continues internally on this TLP business, instability continues with India, it is there. And if this funding of IMF and all boils over,
right.
okay, and Pakistan and China is miffed up with it, KSA will not come, Saudis will not come here.
I
And
was going to ask you
Baluchis,
about that.
yeah, Baluchis will not. Baluchis are not going to relent. The whole part of Baluchistan, as it is 90%, they don't have control.
Hmm,
And if this happens, this whole region is going to go up in some topsy-turvy situation.
right.
Are we prepared for this eventuality? And
What
what do
what
we do?
what should we do, General Shankar? I mean, to be prepared for this.
Yeah, I would say, look, I'm being an Indian. Okay, let me look at it from the Indian viewpoint, and this extreme kind of a situation which we are painting. What is the extreme kind of a situation? You toss the coin, how will the coin fall? The
Right.
coin could fall that Pakistan is split into its five integral states. You are going to have Punjab separate, Sindh separate, Balochistan definitely separate, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa part of Afghanistan. That could come. In which case, I think we should make a move into POK and Gilgit Baltistan to retake them politically and militarily. That's one. Okay.
Right.
The second thing is that let whatever happen to Pakistan or Punjab or Sindh, whichever way they go, we need to start thinking with probably Russia, China, and USA. How do you start controlling their nuclear
Nuke.
weapons?
The nukes. That's right.
New, right? You can't have a nuclear Punjab left, no.
Right.
See, one part of Pakistan breaks, Pakistan will disintegrate. Let's not have doubts about it.
Hmm.
Okay. How do you control that? And how do you, whatever happens internally to them, let it happen. We are not bothered. The two things is our land is Gilgit Baltistan and POK, we need it back.
Yes.
That's one. That's our stated policy. That's our map, isn't it? Your cartographic extent goes till there. Establish relations with Afghanistan and all that we'll do. But the second thing is the whatever happens internally, what do you do with Pak nukes? And you need to motivate people around. To that
Hmm.
extent, I do hope someone has spoken already to Sergey Gore about it, so that he can go and tell the Orange Man, look, man, this is the problem there. We might as well, know what's going to happen and be prepared for it. And this will shake up the whole, not only the region, it will shake up international affairs completely.
Yeah, this is a tectonic event, and the likes that you're mentioning that could happen, and it's not so far back that you saw the Soviet Union break up. But
Yeah,
is it possible that Pakistan, when it's controlled by the Pakistan military, that's the strongest component, is the strongest institution in Pakistan? Well, while the military is there, they are 500,000 strong, and they have probably a little more than 500,000 in reserve. Will that scenario happen when the Pakistan military is there and it's in the field? In 71, for instance, you had the hammer blows of the Indian military that ensured the surrender of the garrison, and therefore Bangladesh was created. But do you see something similar happening here? Will a breakup happen when the Pakistan military is still united, it's still there to fight militarily, to hold the provinces together?
look, I question the integrity of the Pakistan military itself today. What's happening internally politically,
Right.
right? If this thing boils over, I'm sure there are a lot of Pathans in Pakistan army who will not lift a little finger. As it is, there are not many Baluch people who are part of the army.
Right.
So it leaves Sindh and Punjab.
That's
NLI people,
80%. Yeah. 80% of the
NLI,
military is Punjabi and Sindhi.
yeah. And NLI also will probably at some point of start saying, sorry, the Northern Light Infantry and the troops from the north. You know,
Yeah.
look, I'm not, am I being alarmist about it or being, thinking too far ahead? Maybe. But the fact is that just think of this, that if this problem continues for another 15, 20 days, all these
Right.
options will be there on the table. All these options will start appearing real. And it's a matter of people. The If this has to happen, let me also put a underline to this. If this has to happen, India should say, okay, you do what you want there. Just carry on. Don't interfere with what's happening.
Hmm.
Don't interfere with what's happening. Just help them break. You start saying, I'll attack you, I will retake you, yeah, all that, nothing will happen. So, I still feel the one single mistake we did in Opsindur was to do what we did. Look at it. If we had not done at that point of time, the Pakistan army was in a bad shape. Everyone was not happy with them. Their economy was bad. Were an international pariah. Immediately after Opsindur, the thing turned topsy
Yeah.
turvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't go into that. Just allow them. We say, look, we are not doing anything with you. You try anything with us, we'll sort you out.
Right.
Okay. But please carry on, do what you want, and help the constituents individually, politically.
Hmm.
Help Baluchistan, help Afghanistan, help Khyber Pakhtunkhwa people, help POK people politically. A political strike is more important than a military strike.
Right.
See, what did you do when you abrogated Article 370? When you abrogated Article 370, you took the Pakistani army out of the equation completely.
Yes.
Okay? You put the skids under China. One of the reasons why China came in Eastern Ladakh was because of Article 370. You claimed all areas up to Aksai Chin as part of
PP.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. So right. So you keep quiet, do everything politically, and then you'll see Pakistan. Whatever is to happen to Pakistan will happen. Right now, maybe it's too early to talk. Okay. But what they have done to Afghanistan, I don't think Afghanistan will be in a mood to sort it or keep quiet.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
But fascinating, General Shankar. I think what you mentioned is that we must be prepared for all these scenarios, and we should wargame all of these scenarios, including what our response is likely for each scenario like this. And I think that's the thing that we are deficient in. I think we don't do enough scenario building. I was talking to Admiral Srikhande, who's a big proponent of scenario building, and he was saying the same thing, that you have to wargame every scenario to ensure that you're never caught by surprise. And every scenario
Yeah.
short of Indian invasion should be wargamed and prepared for, including the one that you're saying here. How do we react if there is a breakup of Pakistan, if Khyber Pakhtunkhwa breaks off and the people kind of decide to join Afghanistan, or the Afghans stream through the border? What would be our response in that case? Would we militarily cross the border, threaten the Pakistanis? Because then you're crossing a nuclear threshold as well. And that is
Yeah.
something that we have indicated. So I think all of this needs to be wargamed in right earnest, because you're talking about the breakup, a potential breakup of a nuclear-armed country of the kind that you haven't seen, in the last 70, 80 years. So, I mean, apart from the Soviet Union, of course. But this is where Pakistan is today. Just last week, it looked like they were on a steady wicket with the United States. Everything was hunky-dory. They were talking of building corridors, offering ports. And today they're in a war with Afghanistan along the border. And they're, of course, in a hot situation with India along the borders. You're looking at a forefront crisis, a poly-crisis that Field Marshal Asim Munir is confronted with. And this kind of answers also the reason why Munir didn't grab power, take over, because he knew exactly what he would be faced with, a crisis like this, where he would have to take all the brickbats and not Shahbaz Sharif, who actually, carries on the facade of seemingly running a civilian government there. But it's a very interesting hybrid government there, where Munir is the puppet master and Shahbaz and the civilians are just the facade. But interesting times, General Shankar. And, we should revisit this at some point. Like you mentioned, that it could actually happen as early. Something could happen, something this month, maybe next month, given the way things are moving with Afghanistan and Pakistan internally. But, last question to you, General Shankar. You think Munir has ambitions beyond that of Field Marshal? You think it's a matter of time, however bad the situation is, you think he will actually want to grab power and appoint himself an executive president or something like that, modify the constitution?
See, as it is, he's there already.
De facto ruler.
What does he want? Now today he's got deniability on everything.
Right.
He's not responsible for anything. Okay. He's got complete authority. So why would he do anything at this point of time? I think for him at this point of time is a matter of survival.
Right.
He has to survive this crisis. He's in a crisis.
Yes.
If this is not a crisis, what is a crisis? So you have to survive the crisis and then move ahead.
Right.
So there is a major problem for Munir and Pakistan in this.
Yes.
And let's see where it goes. And the point which you made is, I think, very important. We need to war game these scenarios.
Yes.
See, I might be shooting in the flying a kite at this point of
Yeah.
time, but these are the scenarios which can happen, and when they happen, you don't know
Yeah.
how they'll happen because it is a matter of people. See, why at the root of this, what's the problem in Punjab, Heartland, TLP, and all? It's a matter of people,
Hmm.
street power, and people. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is a matter of people. Baluch people are not this thing. Okay, Sindh people are also not happy with the whole setup.
Right.
So when the people of a state have no reason to stay together or
Right.
have every reason to think they want to be separate, what can the army do? Or is that kind of a threshold reached? Is
Hmm.
that critical mass reached for Pakistan breakup? That's the thing which we have to foresee in this whole story.
Right.
And this with a very, very, flip from Afghanistan and India, the optics of what's happened in the past 48 hours between India and Afghanistan puts tremendous pressure on every Pakistani. Think of a
Yeah.
Pakistani, hardcore Pakistani. Where does he stand today?
Hmm.
So, and nations are made of people. There's a
Yes.
limit to which armies can, go and exercise power and all that, right? I mean, you look at it. Does Munir fight Afghanistan? Does he fight India? Does he grab power? Does he go on the streets and stop TLP? Can he enter Balochistan? Can he go and do something in Afghanistan in POK? What can he do? He is. It's a dangerous situation,
Right.
right? That's why I said we'll see what happens in the next 48, 96, 72 hours. We'll see how things start moving.
And the longer this continues, General Shankar, the weaker Munir becomes and the more powerful Imran Khan becomes. That
Yes,
Imran
yes,
Khan is a factor if you were to look at it like 1971, where you had Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in prison. He was imprisoned by the military and his power grew within the prison. They had to keep him in West Pakistan. And similar is the
yeah,
case with Imran.
yeah, yeah.
That
Could
he
happen.
is he knows he's very confident in that sense, and that's why he's been standing up to the army. He's not buckled, he's not capitulated. He
Yeah,
knows that in the long run he is the legitimate face of power in Pakistan because he has the will of the people behind him. So
yeah. I
I
agree
think
with you.
Imran playing the ultimate match of his lifetime, after 1992, and he's the guy who they couldn't control. Of course, he's no great friend of India if you've seen him in the past.
Yeah, but
But at least, yeah,
let's see how things pan out, and
yes,
we'll wait and watch. And if needed, we'll do another show middle of the week on this. We'll follow it up if
it
things
looks like, yeah, we're being,
will have
outpaced by events, Jan Shankar,
events.
right? The way
Yeah,
that the speed at which they're moving. So, with that, I think we should wind up and start with some questions, if there are
yeah.
any.
I think what we'll do is we'll pass the questions for today,
Right, all
right?
right.
we'll we'll take this up maybe after 3 4 days which way things are going and when because
Yes,
today we are all over the place.
yes, got it.
We right
We'll come
we
back again on this story, and this is a hot
Yeah,
story. It's a live story. It's happening in near real time with the Pak Afghan clashes, and of course the US India ties coming back to some kind of normalcy, and of course US China back on the hot thing as well with 100% tariffs and all. There are lots going on right now. As I said, it's the T20. It's becoming the T10, and probably in a couple of days it'll be the T1 even 1 over matches. But we'll keep tracking that. Thank you very much for your time, Jal Shankar. So great talking to you, hearing from your insights. The fact is that India must be prepared. That's the big takeaway for me. We must have scenarios in place, whatever be the case. Short of an alien invasion, we need to wargame everything in our neighborhood, given the speed and rapidity with which things are. unfolding. But thank you very much, General Shankar. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And for all our viewers out there, do excuse our technical glitches this morning. We are committed to bringing you this show week after week, and possibly there will be another installment in the next couple of days to make sense of what's going on. But thank you very much. Have a great day, and see you very soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And Rajesh, thanks for becoming a YouTube member. And we'll meet you shortly. With this, we'll close down and say goodbye for the day. And Jai Hind to
Goodbye.
all of you.
Jai Hind.